Good evening and welcome to the Minions of the Zoo Saturday edition. I am your host and keeper of the Harry channel, and with me tonight are Minions 2, SkepTok.
Hi, everybody.
And Serenity Star 13.
Hello.
And we're expecting at least one more. So it takes a whole village to keep me honest. just to keep me in check. I really am just kind of a menace. It's a bit of a problem. But enough about me. By the way, if we were going to do a new drinking game, I think I would make one of the things be every time I say, but enough about me. That definitely seems like a worthy addition. But enough about me. Again, hi, Serenity.
Hello.
Anything new and exciting?
No. Mostly just normal.
You sent a number of us a video about the holler, and sort of was like an example holler. Not your holler, but just a random representative holler.
I can tell by the height of the mountains that that's a more up north holler than mine. But
yeah. I was thinking about that video. I didn't say anything about it because I figured I'd save it for the show. But there are places that I've been through many times, especially back before my second gnarly bicycle crash. Like there's a place in Santa Cruz County, Eureka Canyon Road, and there's more redwoods, but the lower part of that looks a lot like the video of the holler. The shade of green's just a little different, though. You know, we've had this discussion that it's this weird lighter Kermit the Frog green that you seem to get, whereas we get shades of red and darker green. But it's the same general thing. I think there are hollers everywhere. Maybe people just don't know they're in a holler.
Well, that's the thing. Like, hollers are everywhere, and just hollers are different. Like, I through a good portion of the Midwest, there's not hollers because you need trees to have hollers. Not necessarily mountains. You can have hills because as long as the trees go up high enough, you can't see over top of anything. That's a holler. But out where there's at least some level of kind of mountains, both here on the East Coast and on the West Coast, yeah, you can have hollers.
Well, in the Santa Cruz Mountains, there's there are a few little towns. So if you go, basically, you start at Santa Cruz on the coast, and as you sort of work your way inland, there's towns like Boulder Creek, Scotts Valley. These are nice little towns, but away from these towns.
I love Scotts Valley.
Scotts Valley is a great place. I love Scotts Valley too. There's places like Lompico, and Lompico, near as makes no difference, is basically West Virginia, based on what you've just shown me. A lot of undeveloped dirt roads, people who have houses / homesteads, and you're just out there on your own, and you can just do whatever the hell you want. You want to
within reason, but yes.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of it just ends up coming down on you. I told you I met a mountain man once from Lompico who had a baby raccoon crawling around in his ZZ Top beard. You know, you don't even realize until suddenly you see this baby raccoon peering out of his ZZ Top beard. So I don't know. I feel like the holler is everywhere.
Oh yeah, no, it's legitimately everywhere. It's just there is a part of the country that is more well known for it, which is my part, which is the Appalachians. Because we got the holler that you go out and you may disappear into, just for the sheer fact that there's been several cases of people doing the Appalachian Trail and getting to the point in West Virginia of the Appalachian Trail, and they go off the trail, which is the first dumb thing to do. But I think there was a case of a hiker, I think 5 or 10 years ago, who they went off the trail, they got lost. They did the thing which you're supposed to do, which is stop moving and like hole up for a little bit. And they sadly ended up passing away. And when they found them, they were only like 60 feet from the trail because it's so easy to get turned around in Appalachian woods. That people, because until you hit West Virginia, you're just dealing with the much more younger, thinned out, destroyed by like lumber barons type of forest until you hit Appalachia, because we've had longer for ours to grow back. And then they get here and they don't know what to do because it's just it's basically like being in a hedge maze some places. Unless you know the woods really well, you're just going to get turned around too many times and you're going to get screwed. And that's bearing nothing comes after your butt.
Yeah, I have almost supernaturally good sense of direction. My internal compass is pretty great, except for there's a few dead spots on the planet I've run into where for whatever reason I just can't navigate. A lot of times, you know, if you're somebody who's used to sort of knowing where you are, you find yourself in a position where you suddenly don't, and it all goes sideways very quickly. You don't want to get arrogant about this kind of stuff.
No.
Just climb a hill, get a GPS fix, send up smoke signals, whatever you got to do, but don't just sit there and die 60 feet from the trail.
Well, that was the other thing when people first started pushing out from the coast here in the United States, when we were still an English territory, especially in southern West Virginia, where the New River is. The New River got a lot of people lost because everybody thought that all rivers do north to south. New River doesn't. New River goes south to north.
Mm-hmm.
And that threw everybody off and got apparently a lot of people lost and a lot of people killed because they thought if they just found the river and traveled it, they would get out. And that did not turn out being the case because it goes a much different route. But yeah, so being West Virginia, you're kind of raised on those stories of like, don't trust the rivers because you never know.
Mm-hmm.
If you hear you just might as well accept the fact you're dead. If you hear hello and then it's usually just a paranoia thing and you can usually talk your way out of it and just go, where's the road? But yeah, no, it's a very West Virginia kind of thing. We got our Appalachian holler ghosts.
There are apps now that are designed for
Yeah.
people who like to basically trail ride on motorcycles, the small ones, the off-road ones.
Yep.
And their whole purpose is to keep you from hearing that noise, you know, to keep you out of trouble. So they'll tell you where the borders are for the federal lands and the private lands and what access is there and the whole deal. And it's like, yeah, a little bit of technology sometimes does a lot of good. But I think I want to say hi to Skep before I come to Functional, just in case Functional has a lot of stuff he wants to talk about. So, hi, Skep.
Yeah, how you doing, Harry? It's good to hear.
I'm okay. I'm okay. Would you please greet the chat?
Yes, indeed. We have a smattering, a variety of people here with us tonight. Jay Blizza was the first in this evening, followed by Green Badger. Hello, guys. Duck Dog is here.
Mm-hmm.
See that. Other people commenting, I think, and Raymond Lewis is here. Just got here, looks like. Hello, gentles all. Thank you for coming and listening to us. It's so good to say good evening to everybody and to, have people come in and listen to us yap about the world and help yap with us. So we do enjoy paying attention to you and do it for you.
Yeah, Raymond Lewis's greeting is very polite and comprehensive. I mean, I think he really covered pretty much everything.
Well, he got both the folks, the folkettes, the folks, the minions of the zoo, and the 7 witches of pain.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to regret this, but
Don't.
No, don't.
I don't know what the 7 witches of pain are.
Don't open that door. Open that door. Don't you
It's a
dare.
bad door.
Okay.
Bad door.
Okay. Clearly, I need to. This is an after the chat thing, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Yes.
I am just a naive person.
That would be a rabbit hole of rabbit holes.
Okay.
Half the show gone.
All right. So, anything from you, Skep, before we talk to Functional?
Not too much that I'm confiding publicly. Anyway, just some boring life just going on, which at my age, boring life is just fine.
Oh yeah, boring is good.
Boring is good. Unremarkable is good. And I had my cardiac stress test, and the only clue you have with the VA when you get a cardiac stress test is that if they make the appointment like 2 days later, you've got a problem. And she made it for the end of September, so I figure I'm okay.
Yeah.
She's not that worried.
She's not that worried. You're not going to destroy her batting average in the next few days. So you can put that out.
Yep. This is the a very interesting cardiologist. She comes from Mongolia. She was trained in China. She has a Texas accent.
Mhm.
She sounds like she comes from San Antonio. And she's 6'5" tall and probably weighs 150 pounds.
That last one was the real surprise, that 6'5" thing. I was not expecting that number based on the description. I'm guessing
She said actually a lot of people from the north where I'm from,
very
there's a
tall.
lot more tall. Yeah, a lot more tall
well, like
people.
Sikhs are super tall.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that they're northern Indian type people.
Yeah. And she's got some of the Slavic features that, interfering with her pure Han Chinese features.
Mm.
And being almost 7 feet tall and, playing basketball all through medical school
There
in
you
China.
You really don't want to be 7 feet tall. It's not
No.
It's not good for the human body to be 7 feet tall. It does not do good things for one's expected lifespan. It's just too much work for the heart to have to cope with that sort of thing.
Exactly.
And
over time, it thickens the cardiac muscle, and you can't unthicken cardiac muscle.
Yeah, well, they're not going to come up with bionic hearts soon enough, honestly. But on that
The
note,
Jarvik 7 was not a success. Sorry.
no, it wasn't. It's a complicated thing to try to replace. There's a lot more going on. People think it's just a pump with a regulator, and it's like, no, it's not just that.
Yeah, I don't see why some kind of scuba arrangement.
Yeah,
couldn't
this should just
adapted.
be easy, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Just put a crank on the front of your chest and you just keep turning it, right?
Keep turning it like a perpetual.
It's like a
machine.
feedback mechanism. It's like a turbocharger for your
Live
blood.
as long as you want. Live as long as you're motivated.
Yeah, yeah. When you decide you're done, just
leave off.
stop.
Watch
Well, that
your
was
videos.
cheerful. So, speaking of cheerful, the ever cheerful DrFunctional. How's it going?
I'm staring at you.
Okay, I was gonna say, why are you giving me dead air, man? What did I ever do to you?
Okay, well, are we going to be talking about I-33 Atlas today at all? Do we have any stories?
I don't, but you're welcome to
This
bring it
stuff
up.
is so fucking crazy. Okay. I don't know if anybody's been following this thing, but does anybody remember Orionomos or whatever, that long turd-shaped asteroid that just kind of went through our solar system, and it was just kind of like, where'd that go?
Yeah, the
Oh, who
10-to-1 ratio of like width to length. That it looked like a cigar type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, and
was
this
an obvious
is
alien ship.
well, that's the thing with I-33 Atlas is we don't know, because it's exhibiting so many things astronomers, scientists never thought were possible. This thing is giving off pure carbon dioxide.
Good God. You mean like a soda?
Like a human being expelling breath? Yes. And so it's interfering with any scans and camera work that we could be looking at to get an idea of what's inside this thing. And it's traveling in such a way that it's going to pass within 200,000 of the Earth and Mars and Venus. Do you know how significantly astronomical the chances of it passing all of those planets in its same pass?
Mhm.
It is crazy. So yes, there is the theory that, oh, it's an alien ship that some spacefaring civilization hollows out asteroids, builds inside of them, and they're basically city ships. I don't think so, but I'm not discounting it because shit's just off the rails. But it's because of the way it's moving, because it's accelerating, because something has a pull on it, that it's accelerating, it's giving off pure carbon dioxide. Like, this has shattered so many perceptions of what should be happening. It has no comet's tail.
What's the name of this?
I-33. Well, Yeah.
It's 3i/Atlas.
Oh, sorry, 3i Atlas, not
3i
I3 Atlas.
That's what. Okay, 3i Atlas.
You know how
I'll
the
look it
naming
up.
conventions
Let me look
are.
it up.
It's weird, but
Yep.
this thing has got me excited for the last 2 weeks, and it's passing. It's going to reach us on October 18th. So mark that day as the new Independence Day, and make sure to be very nice to Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. I remember back in the fun days, because I used to listen to all the Art Bell stuff for just amusement's sake. They were always talking about Planet X and how Planet X had this incredibly ridiculous orbit, but occasionally it would come close to the Earth, and then the Planet Xians would show up and take all of our women and our gold, and then they would just get back on their planet and leave for another 10,000 years.
Oh, but then
Those are heady times. I used to love that show.
There's the new one that's not Planet X, but has an even weirder orbit around our sun. And I think it's just being pulled by a black hole or something. But it only passes in our solar system every 70,000 years, 7,000 years, something crazy along those lines. And it recently just passed. But that's it's so incredible how just randomly we find something we're like, oh, that kind of just shatters everything we knew about space. Huh.
Well, so the planet, the comet that you're talking about, part of
not a comet.
It's not a comet?
It's not a comet.
Oh, it has a tail.
Interstellar object.
It's an interstellar
Oh, sorry.
object.
What I was trying to say is it's not part of our solar system. It is extra,
it's extrasolar.
It's extrasolar. And we have only seen a handful of these objects. And when they come in at weird angles, typically, because they're not in the plane of the solar system. So they come in at these weird ass angles. Now, a number of things can happen when an object does that. It can get captured, or it can be thrown way the hell off course from where it was originally going. Jupiter just sits out there as a giant and kind of says, I got you. You know, basically he's our Jupiter just hangs out and makes sure that most things don't cause us any trouble at all. Everything either crashes into the sun or goes, it runs into Jupiter. And the inner planets don't really get a lot of visitors like this from outside the solar system.
And we're getting 3 planets are going to be visited by this thing. It's incredible.
Well, it's when it's going through our solar system, like it's going to go between Mars and us. When it cuts through, at least that's the path as of right now. That's when Jupiter's on the other side of it. So it's heading toward Jupiter during its turn around the solar system when it passes us. So Jupiter's going to be the thing that kind of gets near it after it goes through our little part.
Okay.
Because I'm looking.
It doesn't.
3i Atlas poses no threat to Earth and will remain far away. The closest it will approach our planet is about 1.8 astronomical units, or about 170 million miles away, or about 270 million kilometers. 3i Atlas will reach its closest point to the sun around October 30th, 2025, at a distance of about 1.4 astronomical units, or about 130 million miles, about 40 million miles farther away from the sun.
Can you snuggle up to your mic a little bit, Skep? You're getting too comfortable.
Sorry, about
there he is.
About 40 million miles.
Announcer voice, man. Announcer voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 40 million miles farther away than the Earth is from the sun.
Yeah.
So it's
not
coming close.
It's not
coming that close.
The estimation this thing could be as big as 12 miles wide. It's still cool though.
I'm happy that it's not close.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so happy.
It's still cool though.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
From the artist renderings that are on space.com though, it looks like it's in front of a freaking Voyager Star Trek Voyager ship. They made the front of it look really smooth, which makes sense because it's bolting through space, but still the front of a spaceship. So Ancient Aliens are gonna have the Ancient Aliens nut jobs are gonna have a field day with this.
It's also going at something insane like 150,000 kilometers per hour.
Yeah.
And it's emitting, it's bleeding off carbon dioxide into vacuum. It just
152,000 miles per hour.
152 there. Oh, miles per hour. Okay.
Yeah. 245 kilometers per hour.
It's just it's turning again. It's just turning everything on its head, because you have to have something for there to be that chemical reaction to let off carbon dioxide. But again, even with our best telescopes, we haven't been able to get through this cloud of carbon dioxide that it's giving off to see what is this made of? Where's this carbon dioxide coming from?
They are calling it an interstellar comet. They said Hubble captured this image of the interstellar comet 3I Atlas on blah blah blah. It goes through all that stuff. It says Hubble revealed a teardrop shaped cocoon of dust coming off the comet's solid icy nucleus. Because Hubble was tracking the comet moving along a hyperbolic trajectory, the stationary background stars are streaked, in this exposure that I'm looking at. Anyway, it said that Hubble's continuing observations allow astronomers to more accurately estimate the size of the comet nucleus. They think it's about 3.5 miles wide.
That's really pretty big.
That would make an impression on the Earth.
Oh God, no! I don't even want to think about what that would do to the Earth.
It would end life on Earth.
That's an extinction level thing. Well, at least it would end humanity. That's
100%. That's erase the blackboard.
Yeah,
and
not
it doesn't. They call it. It technically it's not a comet because it doesn't really fit it, but they are calling it an interstellar comet. Yes, and it's giving off I want to say green tail. But it's not the typical comet's tail of basically ice and oxygen burning, it
says a teardrop shaped cocoon of dust coming off its solid icy nucleus. So it's a combination of ice and dust, and the cocoon of dust is what NASA and Hubble say is coming off of it. Just reading from the NASA.
They even pointed James Webb at this thing to get a picture, an infrared picture, and
it's moving too fast.
It's moving too fast. They couldn't get a good reading because of all the crap around it.
Away. Yeah, it's like.
But it's amazing because our most advanced, and even the reason why it's called Atlas is because it was discovered by the Atlas telescope. Even the Atlas, when they first took a picture of this, people were like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
Not every tool is appropriate for every job when it comes to astronomy. I know. I'm just you're saying that even our best tools can't do it. It's because oftentimes they're designed for a particular type of thing. They're optimized for a particular thing, and this doesn't really fit the goals of any of these things except for Atlas, and even that struggled to keep up.
We still have to give round of applause to the good old boy who went up broken but got fixed, Hubble, for even catching this thing. Mad respect to that lovely old man.
Those of us with corrective lenses have to stick together.
Good going, buddy. Good on you for getting it. Way to go, bud.
Still digging my new glasses.
There you go.
I hate mine.
The distance glasses that I got actually are pretty great. I tried them out with the motorcycle helmet. I guess they're anti-fog, and they actually work. That doesn't stop the inside of the helmet from fogging up, so I can't see through the visor. But at least the glasses are good. And I went to the restaurant supply, and when I walked out of the walk-in freezer, they didn't just render me inoperable for 3 or 4 minutes while I waited for my glasses to heat up. Oh, well. Anyway. Yes.
So this was buried in the news, but it's enormous, gargantuan news. And when it gets closer, obviously we're going to be able to get better pictures of it. And so we're the science world, anybody who's a fan is kind of on pins and needles waiting for the 18th or whatever day it was to get the reports back and be like, okay, well, we're waiting. Tell us what's in it. And then the aliens will, just subjugate humanity.
Well, there's a whole bunch of cool stuff that comes up, and sometimes I just don't bring it up because it's hard to talk about. And I don't want to just be Professor Harry and not sort of think. So I go, is this something we can have a discussion about? So, for instance, the DART impactor that was trying to test methods for redirecting asteroids, with this impactor, the resulting behavior after that impactor is actually really interesting. Just hard to have a conversation about. Because it's not doing what people thought it would do. We thought, oh, we'll give it a little nudge and then it'll just move and the math all works. But the composition of it in terms of how the kinetic energy is absorbed and what sort of flies off of it and then what back and sort of recoalesces on it, it's actually pretty complicated. It's not as easy as just fire big rock at asteroid move.
You mean the Bruce Willis movie was wrong?
No, Bruce Willis.
Nuclear in it.
You just strap some big old booster rockets to the side of a space shuttle. You just fly that thing in with Bruce Willis, and then you
Billy Bob
drill holes in it, and then you just put nukes in there and just blow that thing. Yeah, that was a great movie.
Apparently, someone did the math, and the 152 miles per hour is going to be 42.2 miles per second. By the time we see this bitch, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there's a black hole traveling across our galaxy that's traveling near the speed of light.
Mm-hmm.
Fastest object we've been able to record. There was also something else that was kind of exciting, but it's not news yet. It's just Mars rover Perseverance found some interesting samples, and they're trying to expedite returning the samples ahead of the 2035 return date or whatever. Because this is interesting. Finding evidence of microbial bacteria and evidence of water, which is incredible. I was like, okay, if that is, again, this is just best guesses, but if that is true, again, just earth-shattering science news to be like, oh wow, so now we can actually draw that link and say, yeah, probably about 2 million years ago there was life on Mars, even if it was simple multicellular life. It was multicellular and water.
Well, there's
and then we just have to figure out where the water went. No,
well, there's a bunch of things that we sort of know, but we don't have proof for, right?
Yeah.
So for instance, we know that there has to be other intelligent life in the universe. Do we have proof of it? Do we have proof of it? No.
Is there intelligent life here? Come on.
Yeah, I know. But that's the easy answer, right? But I mean, this is one of these things that we just know because of the size of the universe and everything else. We know there has to be other intelligent life. Can we prove it?
The scary thing is if we're not.
Yeah. So
I mean,
as far as Mars go, we pretty much know that there used to be water there. It used to be flowing. We see interesting things that suggest that there might have been microbial life. But like you said, without that sample return, we don't.
Evidence.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we're pretty sure there's like a 50-50 chance that 2 billion years ago there might have been something on Mars. And it all died because Mars just doesn't have a magnetic field that can hang onto its atmosphere.
It was the Protheans, and they were trying to warn us.
It was. And we just didn't listen.
That's a video game joke. Harry, just let it go.
I love the Art Bell stuff. Not Art Bell. Was the noisy guy that got canceled? The crazy big guy, super energetic. Alex Jones. I love some of the Alex Jones stuff about Mars. No, the Nazi scientists were captured, and they have a secret space program that goes to Mars, and then they've got bunches of children on Mars, and the people shuttle. It's like, shut up.
Nuclear plants up there, power and everything.
That man is the proof of the spaghetti being thrown at the wall and seeing what sticks. Like, that's just.
I think Alex Jones would be a great guy to be friends with. And in terms of somebody you could have dinner with, Alex Jones, Jesus, can you imagine going to a decent restaurant with Alex Jones and just.
Hell yeah.
You would not get a whole lot of sleep that night as you just go from venue to venue to venue.
I was about to say a decent restaurant that you would only wanted to go to once.
Man.
But in all honesty, guys, like the notion, the possibility that we are the first intelligent life in the universe scares me more than having a pretty good idea that we are probably not. Having the notion that we are the universe's first experiment at higher thinking intelligent life scares the absolute shit out of me. I know we'll never find out in my lifetime. But it's still something that I don't know why it keeps me up at night.
No,
well, we crossed the line of I think 6,000 extrasolar planets now, and we have looked at enough other solar systems that we realized something we did not realize before. But the question that we've always wondered about is how typical is our solar system as solar systems go? And the answer is actually not that typical. We really are like in the Goldilocks zones several different ways, not just distance from the sun, but that role of Jupiter, that bit of mechanics does not exist in most other solar systems. A lot of things that would theoretically have life on them are just getting pummeled with debris and all these other things because they don't have a big brother to protect them. There's a lot.
Use that as a pickup line.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, but I feel like we had a politics-free show last week, and I just want to dip my toe into it a little bit because I had a thought, and I wanted to just sort of
THOT.
Yeah, I had one of those. Giggity. Let's see. So everybody by now knows about this Kimmel thing, right?
Yeah.
What Kimmel thing?
So Jimmy Kimmel, yeah. So
it was only a matter of time. Come on,
people. Well, I think you're right. People, I think, grossly misunderstand what's going on here. So I'm a little disturbed. Let me just get this out of the way. I'm a little disturbed that the head of the FCC was making comments about how essentially they were going to put pressure on people over the stupid things that Kimmel said. What Kimmel basically said was something that factually is not backed up, that the person who unalived Charlie Kirk was some sort of right-wing nut job. He was leaning into that whole narrative. By the way, I had an IRL conversation about that very topic with one of my liberal friends. It's weird when you talk to somebody who sees the world completely differently than you do.
But he was also a little bit dishonest about the way that he implied it by saying that, well, the right is going out of its way to convince you that he's not a right-winger. Well, okay, that's an interesting statement for you to say. You're not saying he's a right-winger, but you're certainly implying that you think that he's a right-winger, and that's what you're trying to get across to people who listen to you.
Yeah. But the issue isn't so much what he said. It's the question of, well, since we're supposed to have free speech and you guys don't believe in people being canceled, why aren't more of the Republicans or the right-wing type people trying to defend Jimmy Kimmel? Okay, so wait a second. So first of all, there's the sort of the issue of standing. While people on the right were being canceled year after year after year, over and over and over again, I didn't actually hear, and lawfared into actual jail. Didn't hear a whole lot coming from the left about protecting their free speech rights. I didn't hear it. I think, yes.
Quite the opposite they were celebrating.
I actually believe that just on the political part of it, setting aside the issue of the finances, and I'm going to come back to this, politically, I don't like the fact that the head of the FCC made that comment. I don't think that's his job, and I don't think that the government should be putting pressure on the airwaves like that. But setting that aside, I think this is a great opportunity for all these people on the left who are suddenly big advocates for free speech to stand up and go on record about how they feel about it. And I want all of them to do it, as many of them as possible. This is not my job. Okay. I don't have to, any given day I wake up and there's like 1,000 different things I could care about. I feel like other people should take care of this, specifically the people on his side who have been, mute for so long about this particular topic. It is your turn now to stand up and talk about free speech. And please do it on the record, because someday when the pendulum swings again, I want to be able to play your own words back to you. I don't think it's my job.
Free speech.
I mean, do I care about free speech? Absolutely. But I don't think it falls to me to be the person to defend Jimmy Kimmel. You understand what I'm saying? At least I think you do. And he didn't get canceled by the FCC. And it isn't necessarily just the finances of the show. What happened is the big thing, I think, is that the local affiliates got offended. The individuals at the local affiliates.
Firing him. They said, if you guys won't fire him, we will fire him.
Well, the independent affiliates in the network are not obligated to play any shows that they feel are contrary to their local whatever
standards.
Right? So
local community standards.
If it's not owned by the network, if it's an independent affiliate of ABC and they decide they don't want to show Jimmy Kimmel anymore, they just don't. And that's why that was sort of the tipping point. It's expensive. The marketplace for late night TV shows is changing. And this is just bringing us a lot of heat. They could potentially get sued by Turning Point. I mean, lots of things could have happened. There was no upside to keeping Jimmy Kimmel around from a business perspective.
No,
once those people made that decision.
There was one other thing too.
Okay.
In the key demographic, 25 to 54, I think is what it is. He had slipped. His numbers had slipped by 80%. He was getting 20% of the viewers that he was getting at the height of his popularity.
Mm-hmm.
He is toast. The public is just done with him. So the network had a problem with the guy he's toast. And when the public views you as toast, you are toast. And they needed to get rid of him. They need to do something with that time that it is at least 4 or 5 times as profitable as what they were, as the ad rates they would get with those kinds of numbers. And they were looking for an excuse, I believe, to get rid of him, and this provided that excuse. That was just perfect for them.
So I have another example of when something like this happened, but it was far more dramatic than this, because in this case, 2 of the big independent station owners said, no, we're not doing this anymore. And that led largely to him being let go. But do you remember Laugh-In, right, Skep?
Oh yeah, Rowan
and Martin's Laugh-In. And it was
Dan
sort
Rowan
of,
and Dick Martin.
It was a big show, and it was the kind of thing that we really had its finger on the pulse of society. And it was a thing you would talk about around the water cooler. Did you see that sketch last night on Laugh-In? It was one of those kind of things where it was part of the common shared experience. I'm not saying everybody in the U.S. watched it, but a lot of people watched it. And it was wacky and it was zany. But Rowan and Martin tried to do a sequel to Laugh-In called Turn On.
Yes, I remember Turn On.
Okay, well,
I remember this.
You are one of the few.
This.
So Turn On was so weird / bad that it literally did not get aired on the West Coast. They canceled it halfway through its East Coast premiere.
Yes, exactly.
All these people started calling the network saying, we are not going to show this ever. This crap. It was too racy. But more than that, it was just weird.
It was just, nobody could figure out.
So I tracked down a sample of Turn On, believe it or not. It's really hard to find anything because of the copyright stuff. But I found a sample of it with the producer from Laugh-In talking a little bit over the top of it. But this will give you a sample of just how bad this show was.
Better or worse than Mr. Show?
Mr. Show is amazing compared to this. This might be one of the worst things that's ever been on a major network. You tell me. Okay, I don't need to tell you what to think. You can tell me in a moment.
That's right. You don't.
All right, show us the clip.
Okay. Come on. Well, that's annoying. Go back here.
And Turn On was actually, one day I'm going to run Turn On. It was actually
no, you're not.
A hell of a television show.
Hi, boys and girls. It's time to turn on.
It all happened inside a white ball with shadowless light, which gave us
those weird noises are part of the show, by the way.
Infinity. And the whole idea was to arrest the viewer's attention without really having them comfortable in a place. They were just there. And then we didn't have an audience. The whole show was programmed in a computer, which people didn't understand. The audience reaction was all done in a
sounds like an LSD trip that went bad is what it sounds like.
It's a tad avant-garde.
It was brand new, called the Moog synthesizer. At that point, nobody had heard it yet, so it was a new
nobody heard it, so we just use it all the time.
Absolutely not. We should never put an unqualified man in high office just because he's white.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Once more, it's time to turn on.
Yeah, this show did not even finish its first episode. Pulled off the air halfway through, never shown on the West Coast. That is how poorly this was received. And the reason it was pulled was because the affiliates said, Hell no. Okay.
They just noped this
How
one
much
right out of
LSD and
existence.
PCP were they doing?
It was the late 60s, early 70s.
So a lot.
All of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
That was an LSD time. That was just before the really cranky stuff, the PC stuff.
No, this was LSD time. I'm trying to think, was Timothy Leary ever a guest on Laugh-In?
Oh, I can tell you. I
mean, the guests on Laugh-In were amazing. They had, Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan. They had, sports personalities. They had, Muhammad Ali. Just everybody who was anybody who had a sense of humor showed up on Laugh-In at one point. They even did a little sit-down thing with, can I not remember the guy's name? Man, I've had a really long week. I apologize. I can't brain good right now. William F. Buckley they had on one time. And the weird thing about it was they're all lefties because they're in Hollywood. And here's William F. Buckley, this icon of the right, or scion of the right. And they had a completely cordial conversation where they both sort of made jokes, and it was self-deprecating, and it was fantastic. God, I miss that. But Laugh-In was one of my favorite things growing up. I used to really like it.
Larry was never on Laugh-In, by the way.
Okay.
He was on the Dick Cavett show. He was on Johnny Carson show many times.
Oh, well. That's neither here nor there.
You also have to realize, going a little bit back to Kimmel, late night talk shows were dying. The exit of Craig Ferguson,
I agree.
Leno, Letterman, whatever. So it was Kimmel. What was the other guy? Took over for Craig. Jimmy Fallon.
Oh no! Jimmy Fallon didn't.
Colbert.
No, but he's part of the new wave.
Oh, that guy Corden.
Yeah,
James Corden. Yeah, like all these guys were supposed to be, the next new, wave of, and nobody gave a shit. It wasn't until they put a lot of money in, much more money into the shows themselves, they kind of like put it on life support. This has been a long time coming. They've been dumping money into these shows, and nobody. It ebbs and flows, but not nearly the numbers that late night with Carson to Leno produced.
I know the actual numbers.
Per population, obviously more population, but I mean, percentages of the population just were nowhere near.
Well, not even percentage, just raw numbers.
Letterman. Sorry?
Not even percentage, raw numbers. Carson pulled in 10 million viewers a night. Okay, Jimmy Kimmel with the wind at his back and a song in his heart is struggling to do 2.5. So as a percentage,
million, I thought that was even high for him.
Yeah, no, I said that's why I said with the wind at his back.
He's not doing 2.5 million.
He's
okay. Doing maybe $1 million.
You know what I mean? I'm saying he never goes over 2.5 million. Okay,
yeah, never.
That's why I mean a wind at his back and a song in his heart. He can't come anywhere near, even in the best circumstances with the best guests. He can't touch Carson at his apex.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
And most nights he's doing 200,000.
But I think
YouTube channels do better than that.
Well,
some
Greg Gutfeld, I think being on basic cable is doing, I think 2.8 million. Those are the kind of numbers he's getting. And if you look at his production costs, which are minuscule, I mean, he does not have, they spend very, very little money on what effectively is a panel show with guests.
And in the key demo, Gutfeld is getting 10 times viewers, 10 times the number of viewers.
And it's also very specialized comedy.
Well, if you're a business person, you definitely would rather have Gutfeld's show in your lineup than Jimmy Fallon or Colbert.
According to Late Nighter, citing Nielsen ratings, Late Show with Stephen Colbert topped the 11:35 p.m. hour in total viewers with average of 2.417 million across 41 first-run episodes. Kimmel
and
Live
still lost the money.
I understand. I'm just going down the numbers. Kimmel Live came in second in the slot at 1.772. Show edged out Colbert in the demo. Don't care about demos. Meanwhile, NBC's Jimmy Fallon finished third at 1.188 million. The biggest ratings winner ever was Fox News Gutfeld. This is July that they did this with his 10 p.m. slot. So he's a little bit different slot. So he's not exactly the same slot. He averaged 3.289 million viewers.
That's all viewers.
And it's like almost pure profit.
Given a key demo information.
I'm sure LateNighter.com has key demo, but that's not what I was looking at. I was just looking at.
But we all realize that the world it's a different world now than it was when I was watching Johnny Carson as a kid and being tired the next day going to school. It's not the same as it was back then.
Even TV ownership is a completely foreign concept to some young people. None of my nieces, the youngest, because she still lives at home, none of them have a TV. It's all a tablet, a computer screen, a phone screen.
Just stream the highest quality propaganda from Disney Plus.
we didn't have TVs growing up. They hadn't been invented.
Oh, I forgot about this. So functional. Think about this for a minute. All these people, the wailing and moaning and gnashing of teeth. Remember again that I said I don't think that he should have been fired by the FCC should have, put their thumb on the scale. Okay, I actually don't think he should have been canceled for just being a moron. I like it when moronic people say moronic things in public because then we can go look at that guy. He's a freaking moron.
We're better than he.
We're better than he is. At least we're not a moron like Jimmy Kimmel. But where were all these people when Gina Carano got canceled? Where were they? Oh, it was like, oh no, speech has consequences.
And dancing in the street.
No, yeah, speech has consequences, and Disney, as a private company, should be able to do whatever they want to do. And then now, all of a sudden, the shoe's on the other foot, and just massive hypocrites.
Cancel culture.
I didn't really want to talk about politics tonight, but I figured, we can talk a little bit about politics because the Kimmel thing was pissing me off. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Unless there's anybody have anything they urgently need to add to this.
No.
Nah.
Okay. Sorry for subjecting you to turn on, but
maybe
everybody should know that it was a thing.
With what's his name? British fucking Eggman.
Colbert? No, not Colbert.
British.
Oliver. James.
James.
Oh God.
He and Oliver can do a show.
I think Oliver owes Trump money because he was the one who in 2016 said he'd pay him if Trump ran. He still owes Trump money.
A lot of people owe Trump money for that.
Well, what I mean is he publicly stated, "I will pay you." He did on his show. You need to pay Trump, mother effer.
Okay, so let's finish the last little bit of politics in the spreadsheet.
And not to win, to run.
Yeah.
Which was the.
So
you can move on.
You've all heard you've already heard the Gavin Newsome thing. People call him Gavin Newsome. I was thinking about that term. It's a really stupid thing. Trump usually does a much better job of coming up with insults for people. You could call him Grabbin' Newsome because he wants to grab your guns and your tax money, or you could call him any number of things, but Newsome really doesn't seem like very effective propaganda because what does that insult basically tell you? You're just saying, oh, he's scum? That's like not very specific.
I hate him. That all it says is I hate you.
That's not going to change anybody's mind.
Yeah, well, exactly. You have
it's not good propaganda.
You have to deliver the message. And in order to deliver the message, you have to call him a name that reflects what's wrong with him.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's just anything and everything.
Shit, for example.
Yeah. Anything and everything that you say about somebody on the left triggers the left. It doesn't matter what it is. So Kiss, keep it simple, stupid. He kept it simple. It stuck. And anytime I'm around my lefty people and let it, occasionally talk about, but I'll say something under my breath like, oh yeah, Gavin Newsome, and they flip out. They flip out. Even now, they will still give me the look when I say, okay, is it Kamala or Kamala? King Kamala? I don't care. I don't know. I don't care. But when I say the air quotes wrong one, they still shoot daggers at me like I just aborted their child, which they would actually have a party for.
It's a good detector. It's a good thing to use if you're just trying to figure out who's partisan. So you just, say this word and then watch their heads turn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's fine from that. So
if I had the option, I just wouldn't associate with them, but I kind of have to.
So there's a recent thing that Newsom signs law to resist Trump's immigration crackdown, including ban on masks for ICE agents. So this new law says that ICE agents are not allowed to essentially be anonymous. They're not allowed to wear masks when they operate within California. Setting aside the whole question of whether or not this is a legal thing for him to do with the federal law enforcement, this is what's in the law. Okay. Also, it supposedly prohibits their movement within jails and hospitals and a few other sort of things.
If they're already in jail, what does it matter if they get taken?
Oh, well, what has society done to those people? Because
I guess so.
first they get punished by the what is it, the school to jail industrial complex, and then they have I don't know. I can't even pretend to understand what they're
pipeline.
thinking. Yeah, the school to jail pipeline.
And
then
I think ICE agents should just start wearing tactical makeup.
The school to jail pipeline is the school.
But this is an example. This is an example of the kind of thing that Newsom does. And what does that nickname tell me? How does that relate to any of this? He's scum because he does this? It's like...
But it's not for you. It's for his side.
I feel like we need to do better because I think the right is getting a little too comfortable. I think we need to take this shit seriously.
Gavin, hypocritical lying sack of shit.
Newsom's
do it like the Native Americans.
Well, hold on, Serenity's trying to say something.
Newsom is an old nickname. Like, it's just one of many. People have been
lazy.
Calling him. I don't like calling names is so pathetically juvenile. I don't care.
Well, okay, if you do it right, it's amazing. Okay, so Bush too. Bush too. You know what his nickname was for Karl Rove?
No.
Turd blossom.
Turd blossom.
Okay, right. A turd blossom is this thing that grows. It's a flower, a beautiful flower that grows from the cow patties. It makes perfect freaking sense because he was like basically the spin doctor. And so calling Karl Rove Turd Blossom is genius. I mean, that is like the best nickname I've ever heard in my life. Because it really gets to the point of what makes Karl Rove special.
But the thing is, how many people actually knew that?
I mean, it may have been lost on a lot of people. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's bigger things to be dealing with than coming up with a good nickname for him.
A lot of Trump's nicknames are very effective, like Little Marco. That had exactly the right amount of sting.
I've forgotten most of his nicknames he gives people because I've just stopped giving a shit.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
I just feel like the Newscum thing isn't really going to go, isn't helping anybody. It just makes the person saying it look petty.
Well, was it him that started it? Because I heard it was being used by a bunch of other people before I heard Trump use it.
It's pretty common, and I've heard Trump use it too, and I'm just like, I just hear it and I go, oh, it's like hearing an orchestra hit the wrong note. You just go, ooh, please don't do that.
I mean, but it's like, it is funny watching Newsom try to do Newsom's pathetic little gay trio. I'm just calling him the pathetic little gay trio. I don't know how many people it is on his social media try to get sassy.
Yeah.
And everybody's just like, shut up, dude. Like, you're not.
It's just like when Beta O'Rourke does it.
It's
just cringe. No, don't. You can't.
It's like
that's just not happening.
Yeah, Beta O'Rourke actually works.
Deep cut, Skep. Yeah. Nice deep cut. I like that. That was good.
Yeah, but calling him Beta O'Rourke actually works.
Well, yeah, because it's a mistake that people also made because Beto is such a weird freaking name for white boy.
Oh, little Beto, you will grow up and do great things.
But it's one of those things where it's kind of like it's just funny watching because he's getting his crap kicked in. His social media team, let me rephrase that, is getting their crap kicked in even on Blue Sky of people making fun of them. Like when Blue Sky is making fun of you.
Blue Sky, yeah.
Yeah, if Blue Sky's making fun of you with all the freaking PDF files and all that, you have a problem.
It's not good at all.
But it's just like it's a whole lot of crap. But I legitimately think ICE agents should just start wearing tactical makeup, like the cool kind that like supposedly there's the tactical makeup. Scap will correct me if I'm wrong. I know he will. That like messes with like cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just need to start wearing that because they're not wearing masks; they're wearing makeup. Drag queens can do it. They can do it.
I think they should just keep doing whatever they need to do. If the masks are necessary for them to perform their job.
Well, I was about to say, if we want to get pedantic and be like, we're not wearing masks.
Well,
we're wearing
okay.
makeup.
If
what do you care?
if I'm being really serious, the thing is they shouldn't have to wear the masks to protect them from these sort of weird groups that are coming together to track these people down, dox them, and in some cases do actual harm to these folks. These people are actually dangerous. What I'd like to do is live in a society where those people realize that there are special circumstances when you go after somebody in law enforcement, and they need to just throw
These
the
are
book
their
at
stories.
They need to throw the book at a few of these people as a teachable moment. You do not go after judges you don't like. You don't go after cops. You don't do any of this stuff. It's super illegal, and it should be really, really painful publicly for some of these folks.
And I absolutely agree, Harry. But you have to understand, like, and you do understand. But I'm going to give an example that popped into my freaking head not too long ago.
Yeah,
these are the same group of people who talk about whether you agree about women standing in society or not. We're not getting into that. These are the same type of people who talk about women are subjugated, women don't have any power, women a long time ago didn't have any power, all this kind of stuff. But then we'll still celebrate the death of Marie Antoinette. Like, that's who you're dealing with. The same
will
people
complain.
well, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like Marie Antoinette had no control. She had no control over everything, and yet you all will sit there and clap and scream and yell and Viva la Revolution of a innocent woman who had many innocent people who had their head chopped off, who had no real power. And these are the same people who, well, that's the thing though, is that by their own standing, she couldn't be rich because she didn't have money because it wasn't her money. Like
they chopped off the head of the greatest experimental chemist of that time because he helped consult on the building of the walls around the city of Paris.
Yep, they killed a lot.
They executed Lavoisier.
Yep.
and he was the one who had his assistant, or the executioner's assistant, see if the head was still alive after the execution. It's a very interesting story if you've ever read it.
But that's kind of the cognitive dissonance that goes on. They talk about women not having power. They talk about women need to be protected. They talk about even in old time, but then they will, and I understand functionals because she's rich. I get that. But at the same time, it's like she, by their own standards, she didn't have power. So why are you celebrating her death and not King Louis when he was the one who was the idiot who did a bunch of stupid stuff? But at the same time, they shouldn't have died. Like they shouldn't have been killed.
And that idiots.
Oh, I know, but
Yeah,
that's
they're
the thing.
NPCs.
These are the people you're dealing with. They don't have a standard for belief. Like Duck Dog made the joke about let them eat cake. We have no proof she ever even said that phrase. The only person who claims the only person who ever claimed that she said that was the guy who was the head of the first version of the revolution, which was Robespierre. So he is not a reliable narrator. So we don't even have that. But it's this whole, like, it's the reason why I take none of them seriously. I take them seriously within reason. But I live in a constitutional carry state. But beyond that, like, I ignore for the most part what most of them say because they don't believe it themselves, because they have caveats for everything. And the right does it too, but the right doesn't do it as hardcore in some cases as they do it. Like, oh, women are pathetic and can't do anything for themselves, but they're also strong badasses. But at the same time, because she was rich and she was a queen, she deserved to die, even though she was 30 and had been in that position since she was 14 and ripped away from her family. No, that's different because she was white and she was rich and that she deserved to die. But we're not going to actually talk about the people who actually screwed everything up in France at that time and led to a lot of innocent people's deaths, or talk about the fact that the French actually screwed a lot of crap up and then brought Napoleon into this stuff. But that's the thing. Like, they're morons. Like,
the French.
And I don't even like the French.
Yeah,
I hate the French, but even that stuff pisses me off.
I really need to put Orson Welles going, the French on the soundboard.
Yes, you do.
So you handed me a segue, and I was debating whether I was going to bring this up or not, but I don't want a freaking uniparty because there are idiots everywhere. And once people think they have too much control, they just get stupid. See, that's when all the special interests go, hey, what about me? I backed you all this time. What about my stupid thing? What about my stupid thing? So here, okay, so this is in Michigan. A new bill aims to ban both adult content online and VPN use.
Good luck with that.
Jesus Christ. I think it's like 6 Michigan Republicans have decided, you know what would be great, because things are just going entirely too well. What do you say we take away everybody's pornography, and to make sure that they can't get any, we get rid of VPNs? Genius. We're going to ban VPNs.
We're going to be so popular.
Yeah. I mean, what does that even mean? Do people even realize what it would mean to ban a VPN? Like, every corporate overlay network that runs on top of MPLS or whatever is effectively a VPN. What you mean to say is you're banning publicly available anonymizing services for home consumers. But to say you're going to ban VPNs is a hell of a statement. That's like saying I'm going to ban the internal combustion engine.
Well, it's like they probably think it's like NordVPN. They don't understand that.
Oh, clearly,
because it's like, you guys are morons. Like, I like, my thing with the adult content is like, just make it so this way the cult content has to have servers in the United States, so this way they can be better monitored for if they put bad stuff on it. That's what people should do if they really want to deal with the porn thing. But whatever.
There is an incredibly easy way to manage the porn situation.
Take computers away from children.
No, it's so easy. It's absolutely the easiest thing in the world. They had the opportunity to do it, and they didn't do it on purpose, because this is what you're seeing around you now is not a bug, it's a feature. This is the world that they want to live in. What they should have done was they should have created a top level domain .xxx and said you can do whatever the hell you want inside that domain. Yeah. And if you just had made it a requirement that all of those things in the US had to be in that domain, content filters would be incredibly easy. It would be so easy to just, like, for parents to moderate that type of thing. The problem is it's hiding everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, you can get porn off of Facebook. You can get porn off of X.com. You can find porn on YouTube. You can find it everywhere. It is everywhere. It is absolutely.
I've had a lot of luck with Reddit.
Endemic. It's endemic. It's going to be everywhere. So the idea that we're going to solve whatever social problem you think porn is by passing a bill like this is naive, harmful, and ridiculous. Plus, it makes the Republicans look like morons.
Yep.
And I don't want the Republicans to look like morons. It's too soon for the pendulum to swing back. We're not even done recovering from the black eye that was this last 4 years of insanity.
Black guy?
Black eye.
Yeah, black eye.
Harry, they have rights now.
Okay, dude, I was actually making a joke with some people IRL, and I was talking about, a Great British Bake Off. There's this one baker who has a tick. And I was gonna say, wouldn't it be funny if they had somebody on there who had Tourette's?
Oh God!
Super funny.
As the word that I used as an example when I was making this joke, because I was just riffing off the top of my head, I said, "Wouldn't it be funny if she just started yelling knickers, as in K-N-I-C-K?" And I realized the word came out of my mouth. I'm like,
accent.
Man, I hope I enunciated that clearly enough, because this could be very embarrassing. I said
knickers.
I said knickers.
Hit it.
What are people who really annoy me?
Hit it with a hard K, so there's no doubt.
Otherwise called pants.
Yes. Knickers.
But there was that moment after the word escaped my mouth when I realized some people might not have heard what I said clearly. And I like, oh shit, here comes the pain.
Well, there's a young football player.
What you mean?
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Functional. I know who. Yeah. Yeah.
His name is Noah Nigga.
Mm-hmm.
But because of the times we live in, he when he goes on TV and doing these promotional things, Nigga, Nigga, and you can hear him like he has like a coronary every time he tries to say his own last name. I feel so bad for him, but at the same time, his merch sells like fucking hotcakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs a bobblehead.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has one.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy his hat, but it was like $50 US, and I'm like, ugh, not for a hat.
I was about to say, you might stand a better chance of one of us getting it for you than shipping it to you there, bud.
Let's see. So I've got 15 minutes until Serenity disappears.
Yep.
So what?
Forever?
Let's go to a Serenity focus.
Well, I wanted to let's
Focus
see.
on
I can
Serenity.
bitch about anything. Just to give me.
No. I have so much good stuff here. Okay.
Serenity now. Serenity now.
Let's see. I'm trying to find a thing that you. This article gave me pause. How Japanese tiny forests are sweeping Scotland.
Oh,
now, what was the
God.
first thing that popped into your head when you heard this? I was thinking they were like bonsai. I was
Yeah, that's
imagining
mine
like
too.
a whole forest of bonsai trees, and I was thinking that would be incredibly cool.
That would be awesome. That would be cool.
But
it's
you know
not.
that's
I
not what this
guarantee
is.
It's not. No. It's the Scottish. I have no doubt.
No,
it's not
actually,
that.
this is something that's only starting to take off in Scotland. So here, I have a video which will demonstrate
You're to show.
a
There's
little
a
better.
revolutionary new way now of not only just planting trees, but creating these tiny, dense, thriving forests. This tiny forest behind me here grows 10 times faster,
You mean a
30 times
thicket?
denser, and will be
Okay, the rationale here is you take a plot of land about the size of a tennis court.
Yeah.
You cultivate it and enrich the soil and make it very welcoming to plant life. And
Yeah.
then you plant about 3 plants per square meter.
Uh-huh.
Sorry to do that in UK units, but so essentially 3 plants per square yard.
Uh-huh.
And the idea being that by putting them in such close proximity to each other, there's competition for sunlight because they're overlapping, which causes the trees and taller shrubs to grow more quickly to basically get up ahead and form a canopy.
Okay.
And so if you look at the difference between this and the, hey, let's just throw some shit in here. Let's see
be
if we can get to
100
that
times
part.
more biodiverse than conventional ways of planting trees. I've come to Kent where they have done a really interesting planting trial where they've used this interesting
Yeah. So on the right, they're doing the, hey, let's cram a bunch of stuff in here because the Japanese guy told us to. And on the left, they're doing the not that. And you can see it actually does create these little thickets of forest. So on the one hand, I like forest. I like trees. I think this is fantastic. The bees are going to be really, really happy. And doing it in an urban center, cleaner air, better quality of living. I don't have a problem with it.
Around here.
But if
I'm
you're
just-
surrounded by freaking woods everywhere, I mean, so much
Yeah.
of England and Scotland is just wild land.
It's just.
Do we need this?
Well, my other problem is like if they do this in city centers, you think your fox problem is bad now.
Yeah, no kidding.
Your fox problem's gonna be
There-
fucking worse.
Have some habitat.
Yeah, really. Like it's just like I understand what they're kind of trying to do, and I get it.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's like this makes my brain
Okay,
hurt.
so part
Yeah.
part of it is about hold on a second, functional. Part of it is
Yeah.
about having people act as sort of the preparers and the stewards of these sorts of things. So there's like this whole sort of green performative element to it that makes me feel just a little bit sick to my stomach. Go functional.
Yeah, go functional.
Just we have these artificial man-made thickets here in Toronto all over the place. We actually they will bulldoze places where water will become fetid, or I don't know if there's this one waterway called the Don Valley that is pretty much dried up and is just full of like needles and used condoms and fetid water these days. And so what they're doing is they're bulldozing those types of sites and starting to put, buildings and other shit, concrete, but finding little areas that are, maybe the size of a tennis court or a baseball diamond or something, and then just dumping a whole bunch of enriched soil in there and letting nature just take its course. And it's actually kind of working. And they're actually kind of fun to like walk by because, I mean, you have these like really dense pockets of greenery in Toronto normally, but having these super dense mini forests are also kind of cool.
Well, and the thing is, like, I'm not against it, but it's we have a word for it.
Thicket, yeah.
Yeah, it's called a thicket. Like
Yeah.
even chat's like 30, like 5 times people going, that's a thicket.
Yeah.
But we have a word for these, but it's just like, and the thing is, at least like I said, in city centers, they would work, like New York or something like that. You're going to have to deal with stray animals going in them, or foxes or coyotes and stuff like that, which is a whole other beast of bitch that you're going to have to deal with later. But at least in places like where I live, those are immensely dangerous. Like, they're not allowed to be near highways because deer will, it's Bambi.
Just
Deer
jump
will
out.
hide in those things and then your car's freaking scraps and there's blood everywhere. Whether it's yours or the deer, it depends on how things went. But it's just like, I guess it works in the British Isles because not as many of them drive, I guess. But it's just like, I understand what they're trying to do, but it also ends up curtailing growth in the sense that you're not getting as tall of trees because they can't get the nutrient base that they need to get there. Yes, they shoot up real fast. Absolutely. I will 100% agree with that. But the thing is that what you also need for certain types of flowers and certain kind of pollinating plants is you also need taller trees that make it so this way those plants get partial shade. And the problem with that kind of building is that kind of design is that you either have the top canopy that gets all the sun, or you have the underneath who maybe gets like 5 minutes of sun a day. So you're not getting the level of biodiversity that they think they're getting. They're convincing themselves that they are, especially around the edge, which is where most of the flowers and stuff like that are going to grow, is because that's the easiest spot because the fence will hold the other plants back. But it's a Band-Aid on a bigger problem that they need to figure out how to fix before they do things like this.
I'll tell you, Serenity, here it's actually well thought out because it's already, what they'll do is they'll put it at the edge of already existing green space.
Which is what they should do.
Yeah, exactly. And so obviously I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, none of them are really near highways. Yeah. So that's we don't have a deer problem here. Yeah. We have coons, we got foxes, coyotes.
Cars will take those out.
Yeah, they're not the danger that deer are. Yeah. But that being said, I can't think of them anywhere really near highways that aren't elevated highways to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're all next to already existing green space that usually have some kind of pedestrian and cycling path through it. So you got to think, like New York is concrete, and then they've got this giant square of forest, right?
Yeah.
Toronto's kind of the opposite. We're this giant concrete square with all of these veins of green coming through them. And so when you put at the side, let's say this vein of green, half of it in a long strip, then they intentionally make it into a thicket. It just helps the local flora and fauna even thrive even better, because those types of things will be ideal places for your foxes and your coons to have their litters.
Yep. And that's the problem sometimes too, but
it can be, but I mean, you also don't want to you don't want these species to go extinct. You want them to exist, not go extinct. But other things that aren't considered pests, like chipmunk, squirrels, bees love these things. Although they have found a couple of those what are they called? The hornets that are not killer bees, but the ones that came from China that are the size of a $2 coin.
The murder hornets.
Yeah,
I don't think it's murder hornets.
I think they're called Japanese hornets or something.
Japanese hornets or something. They're an invasive species, and they kill bees. They kill the pollinators. So it's not great, but it hasn't.
Asian giant hornet. That's what it's called.
Yeah. So I mean, they're keeping it. I hope they're keeping an eye open for that type of stuff. But who knows with this new calming air?
Well, the thing is, there's also the other thing, which is what city people don't take into consideration, and it's not going to happen until a bunch of kids get it, which is those kind of thickets are also amazingly beautiful for poison ivy, poison sumac, and poison oak to grow in.
Yep.
Nice.
And the minute you have
the Northeast has that in abundance.
And when that's the thing with it getting warmer in the British Isles, it's because you need, around here, poison ivy moves around a lot, but it can be killed off by our really cold winters. They don't have really cold winters there because you need the really cold winters to kill the oil, or because burning it, that's how you get it in your lungs, and then you're in a lot of pain. But it's like if poison ivy or any of that family, air quotes, get a foothold in those thickets and a kid walks through there, especially
that's bad juju.
Well, especially in that part of the world where they've never had to build up an immunity to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember being a little kid and being like, I couldn't get 20 feet near poison ivy without breaking out. That's how bad and allergic I was. I'm not like that anymore. Thank you, God. But like that's how bad it was. And it's like if kids, adults, elderly and kids, as with everything, are going to be the two that get hit the worst by it. I'm hoping that's not the case. But that's kind of like, that's what I see being the thing that blows up in everybody's face, is that kind of stuff. Rabbit animals don't hide in that kind of stuff because their brain's too deteriorated. So you don't really have to worry about rabbit animals too much. The hornet, any kind of hornet, not just the giant Asian hornet, is what you also have to worry about, because they like to build their nests in that kind of protected overhang, which is the other thing they have to worry about. I am glad they are doing it because places need more green spaces, but at the same time, I am questioning the level of which people have actually thought this through, because this can be wonderful, amazing, beautiful, or it can go, this is a shitstorm and we need to burn this bitch to the ground.
We got way more mileage out of that than I expected.
Hey, you want me to bitch about trees? I'll bitch about trees.
No, I knew that I had to do that before you went to go deal with dogs.
And personally, in my opinion, they should be doing trees that are more I call them canopy trees. They're like, I don't know who's going to know. Probably Skep and Harry probably do. But like dogwoods. Trees that do more of an umbrella canopy and don't just do little shoot offs like maples. And because maples, you have to prune correctly. Yeah, like you want them to have a little bit of a canopy so this way light still filters through and smaller plants can grow, but it's you can still see through it, kind of thing. Like, and like doing the kind of trees, which I'm thankful I didn't see a poplar, because if I saw a poplar, I was going to smack them. But it's like, it's going to create a problem because you have a whole 2 or 3 generations of people who haven't grown up in the wilds, who have no idea what they're bringing into their backyard with this kind of thing. It's kind of like the nut jobs in like more not suburban, god dang it, urban neighborhoods, who are doing, instead of having little yards, they have the little, like, air quotes,
oh god,
wild gardens. And it's like, okay, morons, let me explain something to you. As someone who has to deal with black widows and brown recluses, bees are not the only thing you deal with.
Don't you like my
you
buggery?
Don't want those.
It's like you're gonna have an uptick of black widows, you're gonna have an uptick of hornets, you're gonna have an uptick of brown recluse, you're gonna have an uptick of snakes. You're gonna have, what about your neighbors that may be allergic to bees? If you want to help bees, there are a bunch of other bees that are pollinators that aren't honeybees, that don't sting and that people aren't allergic to, that you can help. We have a whole bunch of like the little bee houses that are for like the individual bees. I think they're called mud bees. I can't remember what they're called exactly, but they're the ones that have like the little houses that are just individual holes, and they eat grass and they close the hole up behind them when winter comes.
Yeah.
And they're solitary pollinators. They're good little boys and girls. They do what they have to do and then they go away. But they don't sting anybody, they don't hurt anybody. But yeah, like it's a bunch.
Well, they do have a sting, and they are a variety of wasp, but they are pollinators and they are solitary. They're non-aggressive. They're very good, like Serenity just explained. But they're a wasp.
But they're good little boys.
But they're good. They're very good. Yeah. I've even had one land on my shoulder and just like kind of looked at me. I kind of looked at him. I was a little scared because they look like every other wasp. Like, I shouldn't say that. They look like every other bee and wasp with the striation of black and yellow. But then when he flew off, I kind of noticed his brown wings and realized, oh, it's a mud bee.
Yeah.
That's how you can tell them. When they start flying, their wings aren't black, they're brown.
But yeah, it's just like this is what happens when you have a bunch of city born and raised and
no, not Bumblebee Man.
And city educated people who don't really understand, like,
who don't understand.
It's like, guys, there's a reason why hollers are the way they are. We ain't dumb.
Yeah. And then Serenity, when you try to explain it to them, because you're like, you son of a bitch, I've spent the last 20 years living in the fucking backwoods.
Fight me.
I might know a thing or two of the shit you're going to have to deal with. And then, no.
Oh, yeah.
Black widows? Brown recluses? No, you don't know any. Dude? Why do you think we had in suburban and urban areas laws that said you had to keep your yards a certain like level of cleanliness? It's because those are perfect breeding grounds for things that are widely considered dangerous pests. Mice will even start making burrows in those areas, and then the next thing you know, it might not happen to your house, probably will, but like your neighbor's house is like, oh, now we've got a mouse problem. Oh, the entire block's got a mouse problem. Gee, I wonder who it is.
It's usually rats too, not mice. Mice
Rats
can be handled with, but the rats.
Okay, let's not bring them into it. Mercifully, I have not had a Nigel problem for a while now.
He starts having knob flashbacks.
Oh, I check every single time I come home. I look, and it's like even the traps I put outdoors. I don't think there are a lot of rats in the area, but I do think they all want to be in my garage. Bastards. All right, so Serenity's going to get dogs.
Stop keeping your cheese in there.
Yeah.
Some hobo rat marked your mailbox.
So,
excuse me.
So here we go, Skep. Is there anything aspirin can't do? Common over-the-counter medication slashes colorectal cancer recurrence in half. Low-dose aspirin effective in patients with certain gene mutations. So this isn't everybody, but some people who are...
Salicylate's good for cell health.
Salicylate, I know. I mean, it's like a Scott Adams thing. You could have just asked me.
Yeah, you could have just asked me.
I mean, honestly, aspirin more and more just looks fantastic. There was another story recently I looked at about somebody who had some rare side effect to with ibuprofen and nearly died. I'm like, well, if you take an aspirin, this wouldn't have been a problem. I am very pro aspirin.
I am too.
I don't have a lot of things that I'm a cheerleader of, but aspirin is just the most amazing
it ought to
thing.
be in the public water supply.
Yeah. Aspirin and just a little bit of lithium.
Yeah, and maybe
some LSD.
Don't touch Xanax is what I was
thinking. Xanax is a great drug.
It is. It's outstanding.
Because before Xanax, anxiety, unhappiness. After Xanax, a lot less of that.
Well,
but you can still sort of think.
Here's where Xanax was a breakthrough, if you really want to know. Before Xanax, you had essentially things coming directly off the Valium molecule, the diazepam molecule, and that was chlorodiazepoxide, which was Librium, and then there was the Valium itself, and both these were terribly addictive, and the come off both of them depressed respirations, particularly in elderly people, to the point where it was always dangerous. It was considered to be something that you did in a hospital setting. This is back in the 50s. This stuff was
in the 70s. Everybody was taking Valium.
Everybody
was taking Valium. Exactly. Happy housewives as far as the eye could see. Valium everywhere. I know I told you I used to, if I'd have a nightmare when I was a little kid, my grandmother would get one of her 10 milligram Valiums. She'd cut it in half and then she'd grind it up and put it on top of a teaspoon of sugar because I didn't like swallowing pills. And you know what? Little Harry would go back to sleep. No nightmares. This wasn't something that happened often enough that I was ever hooked on Valium, but it was just, it was nothing. It was nothing, and everybody had it, and it was just really common.
Yep.
But when the perception is it's
muscle relaxant. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's relatively harmless, Skep, is when people start just taking it, and then build up that addiction. And the body starts going, oh, okay, well, where is it? Where is it? Give it to me. Like, why did it go away?
Well, the problem is when they come home from work and they've been drinking and they're a little bit dehydrated. They take Valium before they go to sleep, and that's the last thing they ever do.
Yep.
And then they don't wake up. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of things, but I love aspirin and not a fan of colon cancer. So, yeah.
I hate colon cancer.
But really, it's just like, sucks. What can't aspirin do? Apparently, it can do everything. Here's another fine story. Scientists reverse stroke damage with stem cells. This is what we want, right? They basically take somebody's cells, they turn them into pluripotent stem cells, they put them at the site of the injury, and they differentiate. What they did was they took human brain cells, turned them into stem cells, and injected them into rodents. And essentially, the first thing was making sure the rodents didn't reject the non-rodent cells. Not only were they able to get them to not reject those cells, but they differentiated into neurons which communicated with the existing mouse neurons.
They grew neurons?
They grew neurons, not just neurons, functioning neurons that interacted with the existing ones.
Linkages.
Yeah.
That's the shizzle
Yeah.
right there.
Here's the
That's
part that I
answer.
highlighted. So the studies employed human neural stem cells from which different cell types of the nervous system can form. The stem cells were derived from induced pluripotent stem cells, which in turn can be manufactured from non-human somatic cells. For their investigation, the researchers induced a permanent stroke in mice, the characteristics of which closely resemble manifestations of strokes in humans. The animals were genetically modified so they would not reject the human stem cells. So far, so good. 1 week after stroke induction, the research team transplanted neural stem cells into the injured brain region and observed subsequent developments using a variety of imaging and biochemical methods. We found that the stem cells survived for the full analysis period of 5 weeks and that most of them transformed into neurons, which actually even communicated with the already existing brain cells. This is fantastic.
Wild.
The researchers also found other markers of regeneration, new formation of blood vessels, an attenuation of inflammatory response processes, and improved blood-brain barrier integrity. All huge things. Our analysis goes far beyond the scope of other studies which focused on the immediate effects right after transplantation. So they observed what happened for longer afterwards. Fortunately, stem cell transplantation in mice also reversed motor impairment caused by stroke. Proof of that was delivered in part by an AI-assisted mouse gait analysis.
It means the nerves are getting well.
Meaning they've had video
The nerves are getting well.
of the mice moving around, and they used AI to basically characterize what the movement looked like and show the improvement.
Neurotransmitter stuff.
You know, it used to be you'd get some starving students and you'd pay them to go through hours and hours of this video. Screw that. Just let AI do it.
Right.
Yeah.
AI is probably going to change things.
Yeah, and these are scientists from Zurich. I shouldn't be an ugly American, but when I see these studies and I go, oh, this is from Japan, or it's from Zurich, or it's from a good university in the U.S., or even from Tel Aviv, I go, okay, this is probably true. Sometimes I'll see these and I'll look at the country it's from and I go, I don't know.
Yeah, what's really going on?
Senegalese, no, they're not so hot on the biochemistry.
Well, I mean, there are really interesting things that came out during the COVID times from Egypt, for instance. And I'm sure that the vast majority of Egyptian scientists are, and this isn't sarcasm, are just as good and just as noble and just as honest as any other scientists. However, I also know what the political situation is and how it relates to science. And I know that the thumb is on the scale on a lot of that stuff. So I have to go, okay, doesn't matter how good these people are. I don't know if I can 100% trust this without somebody else coming up with the same numbers. But when I see Zurich, I think, oh yeah, I feel like I can throw this out with the standard disclaimer on the show and I'm not putting more BS into the universe.
What institution was it?
University of Zurich.
Yeah. Oh, University of Zurich.
Oh, that old place.
Yeah, I've actually driven right through that campus in 1998.
Yeah.
Apropos of nothing at all.
Well, let's see. I'm going to save that for another one. We've done the tiny forest thing. How about we just do a... okay, we have to talk about this. This was in the Discord, and I think maybe it was Geodes that brought this up. Woman accused of hitting boyfriend in the head with hatchet while he was sleeping. That is the most ridiculous mugshot I've seen in a long time. Even Trump just looked angry and fierce in his mugshot. She looks very, very pleased with the choices she has made. Look at that smile. It's like, you are in serious trouble, woman. She looks very, very pleased with herself.
I could fix that.
Just
Yeah,
a smile
I could
and
totally-
a
I could
friendly,
totally fix
smiling woman who may or may not hit you in the head with a hatchet while you're asleep.
Yeah, I definitely can take that on.
I kind of feel like this is a hard.
Once I got her right.
This is a hard pass for me. Women who will kill me in my sleep are not even remotely attractive.
Yeah.
I don't need
Not
that
even
extra. I don't need
remotely?
that extra degree. No, I don't need that. That is a huge turnoff for me. The killing me in my sleep thing potentially really does not do it for me.
I actually went with a crazy lady who, I don't know if she would have killed me in my sleep. I think it might have been on the table.
Yeah.
I escaped that one with my life. She was a skydiving buddy, as a matter of fact.
Well, I actually know somebody who was dating a woman who was, he was like 40 something, and I think she was 26, and she was still under legal restrictions because of some court mandated anger management because she tried to kill her previous boyfriend in his sleep. And I'm like, okay, I get that you might think that this is fun going out with a 26-year-old, but is it worth dying in your sleep over? And he's like, maybe. Okay. You do you, buddy.
Yeah. When the voices come to visit her, she's going to come to visit you.
Yeah, we'll just put a little tick box next to it. I mean, the smile, this is one of these things people always rate people on these number scales. Isn't it funny how just smiling adds like a couple extra points?
It does. It does.
Because it immediately
does.
takes her from a crazy 6 all the way up to a almost 8. Just because she doesn't look like she's angry and bitter and horrible. Well, but it's very sexist for us to tell women to smile, right? We're not allowed to do that.
When you get to the eyes,
Mhm.
I see the glimmer of crazy.
Oh, I see the glimmer of your carotid is. She knows where it
Very
is.
appealing.
Why are you reading that anatomy book? Oh, no reason. It's the circulatory system, huh? Yeah.
2 centimeters down.
Fascinating. Okay, so here's a little hot mic thing. Hopefully it's not all bullshit, but we'll see. Let's see. Come on.
Fuck this place. Goddamn liberal fucks. Throwing like 8 guns out here somewhere, as it is. Fucking weirdos. Probably driving around them fucking Hyundais with fucking lowered.
This pilot is allegedly talking about the local people where he's leaving, and he's not being very nice about it.
Shit, they go slow as fuck.
And last calling on tower, that's 12410 hot mic.
If you don't have balls in it, you're fucking rolling coal, man. God damn it. There's Southwest. 31's ready to go.
Yeah, the ATC is just sort of like, let's get him on his merry way.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being on a hot mic like that?
Oh, man.
What ended up happening to him on the layover in this place to make him that angry? Because even if you were in some place that was shitty, I doubt you would feel this. You would be this angry about being there.
I've had some really crummy things happen in my life, and I didn't that angry.
Well, speaking of flying,
I don't really get
the pigeon that can no longer fly because it decided to live on a street full of restaurants and got too fat. Look at that little unit.
What a fine little flying sausage.
Oops. There you go. There you go.
Abort
There you
takeoff.
go, little nugget. That is the fattest pigeon I've ever seen.
It's my hand.
A few moments later.
You can't.
Oh, this restaurant's selling squab?
Yeah, exactly.
You can't
That'd be-
fly. Stupid light
Oh,
pigeon.
It's like it's in Asia, so
Yeah.
I mean, is that one thing they won't eat?
You know, you couldn't serve that as squab. You know, you could take the meat and serve it as squab, but you couldn't serve the whole bird, you know, in the traditional way.
Yeah. It's mini chicken.
Okay.
That's a chicken size pigeon. It's so funny.
That's a big bird.
The legs are bowed.
It's pretty amazing.
Walk. It's going, my feet are killing me, but I can't fly anymore.
Okay. So I have to do a quick I was right. Europe's first exascale supercomputer is now up and running using 24,000 NVIDIA GH200 superchips to perform more than 1 quintillion operations per second with nearly 1 million terabytes of storage. Now, I feel like, if you're compensating for any kind of inadequacy, this is a bit overkill. That is insane. But these NVIDIA chips, what they actually are is it's an ARM processor with a whole bunch of cores surrounded by GPU things, and they're all just tightly integrated. So the communication speed.
How do they do the I/O?
But remember, I said that the future of these things is ARM, right?
Yeah.
So NVIDIA, when they sell you these things, it's a combination of ARM, like a whole bunch of ARM CPU cores combined with a potent set of GPU cores. And they've essentially cobbled 24,000 of these things together to form this monster supercomputer.
I mean, a quintillion is a large number.
Yeah.
And if it's
bigger than
doing
that pigeon
every second, that probably means some problems that used to be beyond brute force will now be brute forceable.
Yeah, and also they have this really cool picture. It's like they paid attention in marketing class. If you're going to have a really huge computer and spend a whole bunch of money on it, it better freaking look like 2001 and Tron had a baby. That's
exactly. Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah. So it says here, Europe's fastest supercomputer is now operational, and boy howdy, does it have an impressive spec sheet. The Jupiter project, which stands for I don't care. Let's see. Official ribbon cutting ceremony earlier this week at the unpronounceable campus in Germany. Forschungszentrum Jülich campus in Germany. That is painful. Attended by the great and good of European scientific researchers and the odd politician too. God, that is such a huge thing. 50 container modules of over 2,300 square meter site containing a simply astonishing amount of hardware. The booster module contains 6,000 nodes, over which 24,000 NVIDIA GH200 Grace Hopper superchips are interconnected via the company's Quantum 2 InfiniBand networking system. So most people
what's the model of those superchips?
Was it GH200?
The Grace Hopper.
Yeah, well, it's the Grace Hopper architecture. And, they had Tesla and Ampere, and these are the different families of Tesla things. I know. This is the first one that you've run into that was named after somebody you've met.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I got to not only meet her, attend her seminars, but actually go drinking in the officers club with her a couple of times.
Well, the part of this is it's not just a bunch of CPUs. The way you connect these, the interconnect, they already say it's InfiniBand. And InfiniBand has different flavors. Some are more gooder than others. And you start talking about networks that are 100 gigabit plus. Those are usually InfiniBand. And it's not just that these things connect, like, you have a switch and then each of these modules has like one InfiniBand connection to it. No, everything is multiply connected in this extremely elaborate fabric. And that fabric is what allows these nodes to communicate with each other without having to go through lots and lots of hops. Because if you just had a switch and then had a switch that connected to the switches, you could imagine that a piece of data in a simulation would be many hops away from something else. You don't want that latency. You're trying to solve the world's weather problems. And so the amount of, it's not just the kick-ass processors, it's also the kick-ass network that they built around them.
Yes, exactly. That's the amazing part. That's the real magic.
Yeah, this is why how you put it together actually makes a difference.
Yeah.
Because fast chips put together in stupid ways doesn't really get you anything.
Love that they chose to make it look killer too.
The fourth fastest supercomputer in the world. So Forget the top 100 list. It's number 4. Good job. Anyway, this is probably only a bit of a niche interest, so we're going to put a check mark next to that. Let's see, we have 20 more minutes to go. So, well, 18 and a half. What do we want to do for the next 18 and a half minutes? Okay, this is fun. Voters oust San Francisco supervisor who turned a coastal highway into a car-free park. Because who doesn't like parks? Who doesn't like parks? Yeah.
Love me some parks.
So they just said, these roads are making it impossible to have a park. Let's just close them down. And the people who live near there and actually need to use those roads, screw them. I'm going to build a damn park. So
where's this up by the Cliff House? Up by that big park area up there? Or
it's right here, Skep. It's right on the freaking ocean. A car-free stretch of highway in San Francisco leads to recall vote and warning to politicians. Yeah, they actually recalled the guy. Because they decided, hey, all of this that we used to get from point A to point B, let's just make it into a park. Really, it's just a closed road next to the ocean.
Fuck you.
Not much of a park.
Man, that would make me... That's half the problem with San Francisco. They just eat like crazy.
Idealistic, pie-in-the-sky bullshit.
Yep, exactly what this is. What a stupid idea this is. Removes functionality from the community.
It's not exactly easy to get around in San Francisco, so taking out this huge highway that you could use to efficiently get around all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
times. That's why I get recalled.
Yep.
Because screw this guy.
He'll probably pass the recall though. Or did he fail?
No, he failed. He's out.
Oh, really? Oh, he's out. Okay.
He is out.
He'll be the congressman.
So, yep. Ousted.
What's this guy's name?
Joel Engardio.
Joel Engardio.
Yeah.
What do we know about?
And so the first guy in front is his husband, and then there's Joel, the former supervisor. So even in San Francisco, there's a limit to how much lefty bullshit they'll put up with.
Well, he has a Wikipedia.
Well, things are really bad, but weirdly, San Francisco, you're starting to see evidence of the housing market taking off again. And it's largely because of all the AI ventures that are gravitating around San Francisco. And weirdly, Sunnyvale is doing really well. The occupancy rates in the commercial buildings are starting to look a lot better.
Sunnyvale is?
Yeah. There are little pockets of the valley that are showing surprising amounts of vitality all of a sudden.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you guys were going to have a little bubble crumble before the big bubble.
Don't know.
Because California real estate.
You think it's a dead cat bounce?
I'm a seller.
I love the phrase dead cat bounce.
Yeah, dead cat bounce. Falling knives and dead cat bounce.
And I assume you saw this thing. Trump signs proclamation adding $100,000 annual fee for H-1B visa applicants. It does not apply to people who are already here, though.
Yeah.
So, Serenity's back.
Yeah.
It also doesn't do anything about the exceptional visas, like the H-1B visa, which is the visa that I think that's the one people from like Chile and Singapore get. They can retain the status of no intent to immigrate, but year by year they get their immigration status extended because it's a way to import. It's a way to import cheap labor, basically.
Well, this specifically is the H-1B visa that we're talking about.
This is H-1B1. This is a separate program. It's an H-1B offshoot program. It's a special kind of H-1B visa, and where basically it's a way to just stay year after year as long as you keep your job, which they extend to certain countries. Singapore and Chile are two that I know about.
I don't know about this differentiation you're talking about, because I mean, you could be right. I'm not an expert on this stuff. I mean, other than the fact that I've observed it being abused a bunch of times, but it says here that it's the visa fee for highly skilled foreign workers and rolled out a $1 million gold card visa as a pathway to U.S. citizenship for wealthy individuals. Meaning, come here, bring your money, you can be U.S. citizen. That's a different thing.
Okay, so Skep is partially right. It is just for Chileans and Singaporeans.
Yeah, it's the H-1B1 visa for Chileans and Singaporeans. That's
Okay, so they did a set aside for a couple countries.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. But broadly speaking, I've seen a lot of these people come in on these supposed H-1B visas, and everybody knows it's an open secret in Silicon Valley that this is a thing that people use to just bring in cheap labor. And the people that are brought here on these things, because if the employer, or basically the sponsor, I guess is what they're called, withdraws their support from it, that person has to go back immediately. And those people frequently get exploited. This isn't just highly paid people making $400,000 a year. This is also the schmooey making $35,000 a year living with 8 other people in a 2-bedroom apartment. And if he doesn't toe the line, his ass goes back. I've personally seen this program be abused by people. So anyway, that's fun. That's not fun at all. Let me go back to things that aren't this. Let's see. We have what? Oh, 12 more minutes to go. Okay. Oh, while you were gone, we already talked about this this woman that hit this guy in the head. We were just making fun of her because she just looks way too happy about what she did.
Mm.
Yeah.
I can understand.
Yeah. We talked about a pigeon that's near a bunch of restaurants that got so fat it can't fly. That's fun.
That's pretty common for pigeons.
So speaking of
the RAT of the sky, and if they get too fat, they just won't fly anymore.
Yeah. So here's a guy who puts jet engines on everything, and I'll have to kill the sound.
Hey man, go for it.
Okay, good. This is Robert Maddox. His hobby is strapping jet engines onto anything that moves. So he's basically...
I like the Santa one.
He likes putting, pulse jets on the back of anything, because it's easy to make a pulse jet.
Yeah.
So he's got a stack of 3 of them, because why wouldn't you? I feel, you reach a certain age and it's like, yeah, jet engine on the back of a motorcycle, fuck it. Just no helmet. Just update your organ donor card and just go to town. Those things could actually blow up under the wrong circumstances.
Absolutely. Oh, a little bit of metal fatigue. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't do it.
Bust all the flinders. And that homemade stuff, you may think that's very cute, but it won't be when that thing turns into essentially an anti-personnel fragmentation.
Well, and look, he's got a heat shield so he can sit on it. I mean...
Yeah, I guess he'd be okay.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. If it blows up, he's only going to lose 1 testicle this way. This will be fine. Yeah. He probably figures he's gotten enough use out of them anyway. Might as well just keep them warm.
A few pieces of the helmet.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, you won't have to worry about.
Hey, but this is a fun thing. This is just an old guy deciding this. Okay, so this is a beautiful video I'm about to show you. This is part of, I think it was a contest or a school assignment where people tried to come up with the worst possible mechanisms in software for controlling the volume of an application.
Oh, I think I've seen this.
Some of these are absolutely fantastic.
Yep. That one. Did you want sound, Harry?
Do I need sound? I don't think the sound is going to add anything to this one.
Okay.
Oh, wait, what am I talking about? Moonlight Sonata. We absolutely have to have sound. Okay. Yeah.
I like the one who throws it.
Yeah, a little cannon.
The balance. I like this pump one, and then it gets it where you want, and then air slowly leaks out, so you have to keep pumping it. That one's good. Please enter pi for volume, and the more digits you add, the more the volume goes up. That
That one I'd actually like, the one where it's just the individual numbers with a spot next to it.
Yeah. Because I mean,
the rest of them are funny, but
for
yeah.
me, this is pure crack. I watched this thing through about 10 times before I stopped. It's really
It's good.
It's really great. This is the kind of this just kind of makes me proud to be a nerd when I see stuff like this.
You know, Harry, I told you about the time that I kidnapped I wrote a program to make a friend. This was back in the DOS days. Think that his PC had booted normally, but actually when he started to try executing command, it would come back with funny remarks and he wouldn't be able to do anything. Which I did. I actually probably spent over 2 months, probably 100 hours of effort. Ridiculous for 15 minutes of fun. One strangest thing, I'm getting these messages.
Oh,
it looked just like a DOS prompt.
Nice. On X Windows. I think there was somebody I knew who wasn't a nice lady, but not the brightest person. She wasn't dumb. She just wasn't very technical. So of course they put her in charge of stuff.
Right.
Because why wouldn't you? You've got some woman who isn't very technical, put her in charge of a bunch of technical people. Well, young Harry decided it would be funny to launch a program called Xroach, but I set it up so that it was being done by a cron job, so I was nowhere near a keyboard when it happened. So it just sort of occurred, and I got to hear her make this noise, like, what is happening to my computer? And every time she would move one of the windows, a bunch of little digital roaches would scurry around and then hide under the windows. So it was like
got a bug in your program.
So it's like you had that. So she just, said, I don't know, my computer seems to be broken. What's going on? And I said, oh, well, it's here. I'll show you what to do. And it was rigged up so when you hit it with the mouse, I selected this sort of yellow-green color, and they would splat and then stay on the background of the thing. It didn't take her too long to figure out. You're the only person I know who could have done this. But yeah, I basically infested her screen with roaches, with digital roaches.
Nice.
Yeah.
You have to realize why rats come for you now.
Yeah, I know. It's all. I like the fact while I'm saying this that we're showing this in the background. That's good.
Hey, man, it works.
Yeah, it does work. Let's see. Here's one that's just titled Wrong Meeting, Right Energy.
Ooh.
Let's just make sure we do need sound for this one.
I'm not sure why I'm here or what I'm doing, but there's a reason.
No.
Ma'am, we're discussing the rezoning for the Portillos. Do you have any comments on that?
For what?
We're discussing the rezoning on 53rd for...
Well, I live on 63rd.
Again, we're here to hear comments about the rezoning.
Well, I don't like Facebook, and I don't like the internet because I can't find a job. The library blocked my password. Now tell me, does that make any sense to you? I'm not.
I can see you getting kicked out of the library, ma'am. Yes, I can.
Does that deserve a bless her heart?
Bless your heart. That
Serenity
definitely gets a Texas bless your heart.
Is that a bless your heart, or will you just shut up and go away? Did we lose Serenity?
Lost to the ages.
Oh, okay.
Serenity.
Okay. Where is Serenity? No, she's not here. Okay. Anyway, this was a very Parks and Recreation sort of thing. I can imagine somebody showing up for a city meeting and having this level of cluelessness. It's not hard to imagine, not even remotely. So, let's see. All right. Someone shot our water tank. Come on.
Nope, that's not rain.
Somebody shot our water tower, shot the silhouette of Johnny Cash in a very sensitive area.
Standing proud, holding a guitar, and emptying this 50,000-gallon water tank all over Kingsland.
I feel they just some Flex Seal would straighten that out.
Yeah, but then he's going to have a black shiny bulge.
Harry knows how much pressure that water was coming out, it would probably cut a board. It would probably cut plywood.
Well,
That's right.
okay, so if it was a column of water going all the way down from that height, that would be one thing. But the amount of pressure coming out of this is actually not that high, as you can see by the parabolic arc of the water jet. So it's not under as much pressure as it would be if the leak was at the bottom of that water pipe.
I'm Harry Channel. I use
Well,
big
that's
words.
you get no argument from me on that.
Yeah.
It's still under a lot of pressure. Look how far it's arcing out.
Oh yeah.
That's a little hole.
None of the men on this
extrude that water through. Like
none of the men on this show could compete with that.
It's a little hole.
Yeah.
I'm 5.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Let's see. Did I show you this fish? Exciting deep sea discovery found off California coast.
Hello, you little fuzzy looking thing. Hello.
He's a snailfish.
He's a little fuzzy looking thing.
Yeah, and apparently they live really, really deep down, and sort of the Monterey Bay Aquarium people have been looking into these guys. I just had this because I thought he looked weird. I mean, even I don't hate that fish. Look, he's almost as happy as that woman who tried to hatchet that guy in his sleep.
I could pet that fish.
Yeah.
I'm sure
pet that fish.
Depending on his size, he might like being petted.
It's the bumpy snailfish.
Yeah.
That's what we're calling it now, bumpy.
Well, that particular one, yeah.
Bumpy snail. He's a bumpy
The fish, now known as the bumpy snailfish, is one of 3 new species discovered off the California coast alongside the dark snailfish and the sleek snailfish. It was recently described by researchers from SUNY Genesco and scientists from the University of Montana and the University of Hawaii at Manoa? I don't know. Yeah, it's the bumpy snailfish. So here's the, which one is that?
So other guys get sleek and dark, and I get bumpy.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he is bumpy.
There's the salmon snailfish, still
They're much
relatively
cooler.
cute. And there's the bumpy snailfish again.
There's the bumpy. Oh, there's a little bumpy.
Yeah.
A little tang. It's a little tang. It's a little tang.
I think she should be called crenellated.
I think someone's going to say that wrong, though.
Yeah.
Chronolated?
Yes.
Not chronolated.
Yes. Knickers. Knickers. Say it carefully,
the
Harry.
Knickers fish. There we go.
Yes.
Knickers.
Yes. Let's see. Woman accused of hitting boyfriend. Let's see. We've got 1 more minute to go. So
the New York Knickerbockers.
Yeah, there you go.
So here's a Ronald Reagan joke.
Anyone this involves, a missionary was being chased by a hungry lion. And the lion was getting very close and just about within reach and ready to pounce. And the missionary dropped to his knees in prayer and said, "Oh Lord, transform this beast into a believer." And the lion dropped to his knees and brought his paws together and said, "Oh Lord, let us be grateful for what we're about to receive."
A lion is still a lion.
Man, he really set the bar high for for this sort of stuff. Because this is what I had growing up. This was my president growing up in a lot of ways, and I'm just used to him being like that, not like whatever the hell we've had to deal with since then. I like it when they have a sense of humor. I mean, Bill Clinton, all legitimate criticism aside, at least had like some character. He had kind of that easygoing, likable, did I do that kind of thing going on.
Yeah,
and he could make a joke. He could
sleazeball.
take a joke.
Right.
But
yeah, you felt like you could probably talk to him. He wouldn't pay any attention to you.
And Bush too, like I said, Turd Blossom. That's genius. That's just like the greatest thing ever. Weirdly, for a guy who didn't seem very smart, every now and then
he was smart.
He had kind of a native intelligence about him that's kind of hard, not a thing you could really quantify, but there was definitely something there. He wasn't an empty vessel, even though people criticized him as being one.
People think he's like Kamala Harris, and he's not at all. He's
No.
deeply intelligent, very thoughtful.
But there's so many good Reagan jokes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he had writers and stuff, but at least he he also
He can
when
deliver it.
Deliver them.
yeah, even when he didn't have writers around, he knew jokes. He knew people.
Well, that's what a lot of people don't understand. Is like, yeah, you can have writers out the wazoo. It don't matter if you can't say the line
That
right.
was just his personality.
Yeah. And it was back in the day when people who had differing opinions could have civil conversations. And the more people you talk to, the more your ideas got to be tested.
You know what Trump's secret weapon is, in my opinion?
Hmm?
It is authenticity. You may love him, you may hate him, but you know that you're getting authentic Trump. He is not lying to you. He believes what he's saying, and he is committed to, whatever objective he's expressing.
Yeah.
And that hasn't, it's in the Obama and the Biden administrations, both were administrations that were fairly obscure. Frankly, so was the first Trump administration. So it's interesting to see a little bit more clarity at the top. I think Trump's a better president this time.
Well, I don't usually do sort of highbrow stuff on the way out the door. I want to do one little thing because I mentioned art news, right? So Hillary Hahn, who I genuinely am a fan. Okay, I'm not a fan of a lot of people. Hillary Hahn is one of the best classical violin players out there. Yeah. Amazing, just amazing. She's incredibly gifted and hardworking. There aren't many people that are on the same level as she is, but she started very, very early. And she posted the following thing. So I grew up in Baltimore, and when I was 10, David Zinman and a small group of musicians from the Baltimore Symphony heard me rehearsing a recital in the hall in which this recording was made. For the next 6 years, the orchestra quietly sheltered me under its wing, deflecting premature career pressure so that I could finish college before I had too many concerts, giving me the opportunity to build my performing. Fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah. In a world where we hear all of these stories about these predatory, creepy, terrible, terrible people, who would take somebody young and talented and just sort of turn them for whatever weird, perverse shit they're into.
Yeah.
To hear a story about a young woman of talent who grew up to be one of the best in the world, and who had like people around her being responsible, being good stewards of this future gifted individual.
So she could crush it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And a lot of people could have exploited her. They could have exploited her because she was a young woman, for her sexuality. They could have exploited her because she was a young talent. They could have exploited her 50 different ways, but instead they actually behaved like good, decent people.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that.
Yeah.
Oh, Hillary Hahn's first CD, Hillary Hahn Plays Bach, is one of the best, one of my favorite recordings of all time. It's absolutely fantastic. So, I guess we should just leave on that.
Me.
Anybody want to bring us down after that?
No, that's wonderful.
Okay.
Wonderful to hear you publicizing people like Hillary Hahn.
Oh, Hillary Hahn is just one of the best.
Absolutely. No doubt.
And she seems like she's grown up to be a really, really decent human being, too.
Yes, she got her head on straight, too.
Yeah.
And a lot of those guys, trust me. No.
Yeah, Hillary Hahn Plays Bach is just, it's one of those things, if you knew somebody and they wanted to get acquainted with classical music, that would probably be
that's on the 10 album list.
That would be on the 1 album list.
That's the first one.
That would be the first one I would give somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I got to stop saying nice things about Hillary Hahn. So this has been your Minions of the Zoo for Saturday. Thank you, panel. Thank you, chat. The zoo is closed. Good night.
Thank you, Harry. Good night, everybody.
Be safe out there. Don't do nothing too stupid. Because the stupid's where the fun is.
And Functional usually tries to slide something in at the end. You gonna say something, Functional?